Welcome to the session. In today's session, we will look into the rational numbers concept. Before looking into what are the rational numbers, we will recap the concepts we already know regarding the number system. Usually, we start counting from 1, like 1, 2, 3, and so on. So, all these numbers are called as natural numbers represented by capital N. To this set, if we add 0, then starting from 0, all the numbers are called as whole numbers represented by W. And for this whole numbers, if we add the negative natural numbers, here we have seen that natural numbers are like 1, 2, 3 and so on. So if we add minus to these natural numbers, then those are called as negative natural numbers. So for the whole numbers, if we add the negative natural numbers, then those are called as integers. So adding the negative numbers and this entire set of natural numbers, whole numbers, along with the negative natural numbers are called as integers. In integers, towards one side we will have the positive numbers and to the other side we will have the negative numbers, and 0 lies in between the positive and negative numbers. So all these together are called as integers represented by Z. Now, what are rational numbers? Rational number is if we can represent any number in the form of p by q, then it is called as a rational number where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0. Here, p and q are integers can also be represented like this, where we can say p and q, this is belongs to sign, belongs to z, z is nothing but integers set. Here p is called as numerator and q is the denominator. This denominator can never be a 0 because anything divided by 0 is not defined. So this cannot be 0. And we can tell that all the integers, natural numbers and whole numbers, all those things are also rational because in those cases we have the denominator equal to 1. Means in the p by q form, q equal to 1 for all the integers, whole numbers and natural numbers. So this whole number set is represented with q. Positive rational numbers. Positive rational numbers means whenever we have the sign of both numerator and denominator same. In this case, if we see 4 by 7, 4 means it is just plus 4. We will write directly as 4. So both the numerator and denominator has got the same sign. In the second place also, minus 7 divided by minus 9. Numerator has got a negative sign and even denominator has got a negative sign. These two are considered as positive numbers. So any number of these forms where the sign is same in both numerator and denominator are called as positive rational numbers. Next is negative rational numbers. If we have different signs in numerator and denominator, then we call it as negative rational number. The negative sign can be either in the numerator or denominator, like minus 4 by 7, where we have the minus sign in the numerator, or 7 by minus 9, the minus sign is in the denominator. Both these are the cases of negative rational numbers. Equivalent rational numbers. So any rational number in the p by q form can have equivalent rational numbers. Those equivalent rational numbers can be obtained by using any other non-zero integer, say in this case m. And how to get the equivalent for b by q? We will either multiply both the numerator and denominator of p by q with the same integer, that is p into m by q into m, or we can divide both the numerator and denominator with the same integer, p divided by m or q divided by m. So if we perform this, whatever the result we get, all these things would be equivalent to the initial p by q rational number. Let us understand this with an example. Consider 4 by 6 as a rational number, and for this rational number we have to find the equivalent rational numbers. I am taking m equal to 2, so I will multiply both the numerator and denominator with 2 here. So 4 into 2 is 8, that is the numerator. 6 into 2 is 12, which is the denominator. For 4 by 6, 8 by 12 is a equivalent rational number. Similarly, if we want to do division for both the numerator and denominator, I am again considering the 2 and dividing both numerator and denominator with 2. 4 by 2 is 2 and 6 by 2 is 3. So for 4 by 6, 2 by 3 is also a equivalent number. In this case, I have taken m equal to 2 and I did multiplication and division for numerator and denominator and have written the equivalent rational numbers. Similarly, you can consider any integer and multiply or divide both the numerator and denominator with the same integer. Same operation with same integer on both numerator and denominator will give you the equivalent rational numbers. And like this, we can create any number of equivalent rational numbers for a given rational number. Now the lowest form of rational numbers. Any rational number p by q is said to be in its lowest form when p and q have no common factor other than 1. So when we do the factorization of the numerator and denominator separately, and if we check, there shouldn't be any factor other than 1 which is common for both. Let us understand this with the example again. Considering the same 4 by 6, first we will do the factorization of numerator. That is 4 can be written as 2 into 2 and denominator 6 can be written as 2 into 3. In this, if we look into these two things, we have 2 as common in both numerator and denominator. So, this particular 4 by 6 is not the lowest form. How to get the lowest form? We will divide both the numerator and denominator with this common factor, that is 2 here. Then 4 divided by 2 is 2 and 6 divided by 2 is 3. 2 by 3 is the lowest form for 4 by 6. In this way, we can obtain the lowest form of rational numbers. So the thing is, to get the lowest form of any rational numbers, we have to divide both numerator and denominator with the HCF of numerator and denominator. Let us look into another example. Consider 30 by 42. Again, for these two things, 1 is not the common factor. Let us look into this. The numerator can be expressed as 2 into 3 into 5, that is 30. Denominator is like 2 into 3 into 7, that is 42. So, in both the things, numerator and denominator, if we see 2 into 3 is common. So, 6 is the HCF of both numerator and denominator. So to get the lowest factor, we have to divide them with 6. 30 divided by 6 is 5 and 42 divided by 6 is 7. So 5 by 7 gives the lowest form of rational number for 30 by 42. So in this way, we can get the lowest form of the rational numbers. In this session, we have looked into different types of number systems we have, and then the positive and negative rational numbers. What is the definition of rational number, equivalent rational number, and lowest form of rational number? Thank you.